It is a popular belief that most states or regions have a small population because of their small landmass. But in reality, that's not always the case. Wyoming, the 44th state of America with a landmass of 97,217 square miles, approximately 80 times larger than the state of Rhode Island, is the least populated state in the U.S. To put this in perspective, Wyoming, the 10th largest state in the U.S., has a population of 578,093, which is about half of Rhode Island's population, resulting in a population density of 6 people per square mile. So, why is this massive state, more than twice the size of Pennsylvania, so sparsely populated? Remote nature. The state's remote nature is evident in the distribution of towns and cities. Wyoming stands as the least densely populated state in the U.S. This low density and vast land means that amenities and services are spread out, requiring residents to travel longer distances for essentials. Access to healthcare services is a notable aspect influenced by Wyoming's remoteness. Statistics reveal that there are fewer healthcare facilities per capita compared to more populous states. Residents may need to travel considerable distances to access medical care, potentially impacting the attractiveness of Wyoming as a place to settle. Education also plays a role in this narrative. While Wyoming places importance on education, the remote nature of some areas can present challenges. School infrastructure and resources may vary across regions, influencing families' decisions on where to reside based on the proximity of quality educational facilities. Economic factors. The state's economic foundation is undeniably strong, primarily driven by its rich energy resources. The state ranks among the top coal-producing states in the nation, contributing significantly to the country's energy sector. Additionally, it boasts substantial reserves of oil and natural gas. While the energy sector is a powerhouse, it's safe to say that the cowboy state's economy is somewhat reliant on these industries. Unlike more populous states with diversified economies, Wyoming's economic focus presents both advantages and challenges. The limited diversification poses challenges for individuals seeking a broad range of job opportunities. Careers in energy-related fields might thrive, but those looking for varied industries or specific niches may find fewer options. This unique economic profile can influence migration patterns, attracting individuals with ties to the energy sector, while potentially dissuading those seeking different professional avenues. Moreover, Wyoming's economic stability is closely tied to the fluctuations in global energy markets. Periods of volatility can impact job security, influencing decisions on relocation and settlement. This economic sensitivity might contribute to a hesitancy among individuals who prioritize a more stable job market. Presently, tourism stands as the dominant sector in Wyoming's economy, driven by the national parks. This economic reliance on tourism is intricately linked to the state's low population density. Simply put, there isn't a compelling reason for people to flock to Wyoming, even in contemporary times, where the economy has shifted away from agrarian roots. While there's potential for a thriving tech or media city, equipped with modern development techniques, to emerge and become a regional envy, the absence of both inspiration and funding has perpetuated its non-existence. Fossil fuel extraction and mining activities, including uranium, bentonite, and trona, often trigger substantial energy booms, leading to population surges that, in turn, dwindle once the boom subsides. This cycle has given rise to population centers like Casper and Gillette, which have expanded sufficiently to sustain themselves. Wyoming also features an abundance of government-owned land, exceeding 50% due to its state and federal ownership. This dynamic has fostered one of the state's major industries, tourism and retirement communities. This is exemplified by retirees relocating to areas such as Jackson, Cody, and Sheridan. However, relying on a tourism and retiree-centric economy poses challenges, as it predominantly revolves around service-oriented sectors, limiting broader economic opportunities. Challenging climate. Wyoming grapples with formidable weather conditions, renowned for its bitterly cold winters, intensified by mountainous terrain, resulting in substantial snowfall across the state. According to data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, Wyoming consistently ranks among the top states for average annual snowfall, with mountainous regions experiencing over 300 inches of snow annually. However, snow is just one facet of the weather challenge. Wyoming's legendary wind further compounds the harsh conditions. With an average wind speed of 21.5 miles per hour, Wyoming claims the title of the second windiest state in the U.S. The state's semi-arid and continental climate, characterized by dryness and heightened windness, contributes to dramatic temperature fluctuations. In fact, when examining the 10 states with the lowest average temperatures, Wyoming secures its place as the 5th coldest, with an average temperature of 42.3 degrees Fahrenheit. While the state does experience relatively mild summers, the onset of wildfire season brings new challenges, including poor air quality and the threat of ranches succumbing to the flames. The persistent wind during this season exacerbates the spread of wildfires. The extreme weather conditions have historically deterred many from settling in Wyoming, and those who do often find it challenging to adapt. The transient nature of residency is evident, as individuals faced with the harsh realities of the climate may choose to relocate after a relatively short stay. Notably, the impact of Wyoming's challenging climate extends beyond individual experiences, affecting the state's agriculture, a crucial economic sector. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Wyoming's agricultural landscape contends with significant hurdles, including short growing seasons and unpredictable weather patterns that influence crop yields. These challenges indirectly reverberate through the job market and livelihoods, contributing to the state's lower population density. History: Wyoming was one of the last of the lower 48 states to get statehood, and the inland Northwest was one of the last regions of the U.S. to be settled by white Americans. It also doesn't have a very long history of colonization by immigrant settlers, like most of more populous parts of the U.S. do. It's also worth noting that Wyoming wasn't organized as a territory until 1865. Even though the Oregon Trail runs right across Wyoming and was primarily active from the 1830s until the Transcontinental Railroad was completed, nevertheless, apparently very few people thought Wyoming was nice enough to stop in. Also, the IIRC states that the pattern of settlement by whites in the 19th century moved inland from the coasts and was spurred by people looking for good farmland. Geographic challenges. A lot of Wyoming is mountainous, and thus not desirable to the types of Americans who were settling that part of the world around the time Wyoming opened up to American settlement. The expansive basins, including Bighorn Wind, Powder, Hannah-Shirley, Green River, and Platte, which make up the more inhabitable regions of the state, face extreme aridity, receiving less than 12 inches of precipitation annually. This dryness, evident in a western U.S. precipitation map, distinguishes Wyoming as notably drier than its neighboring states, perhaps with the exception of Utah. Surprisingly, despite its northern latitude, the Cowboy State grapples with a scarcity of surface water, resulting in persistent drought conditions since 1999, according to data from the University of Wyoming Water Resource System. Historically, agriculture in this state has centered around expansive ranching, particularly cattle and sheep. Given the need for vast amounts of land, attempts to introduce smaller-scale agriculture in these basins have often sparked tensions, exemplified by conflicts like the Johnson County War, ultimately contributing to a sparser population. Even in places with water, in many places much of the water is alkaline, which can cause a lot of problems for people and stock. That's why you have an entire county named Sweetwater, to celebrate some spot within it that had good water. Water rights are a big deal in that part of the country. You can't just park yourself next to the Platte River and start pumping water out of it, because the water already belongs to people downstream from you. Doing that during the wild and woolly years could get you killed. These days, it'll land you in court, not to mention what the EPA will do to you, and the Fish and Wildlife Service. Wyoming has basically no topsoil anywhere. It's all bedrock right at the surface. Fantastic for geologists, shitty for farmers, which is a problem when you're a rural state. More favorable for those who enjoy outdoor activities. Wyoming is renowned as an outdoor haven, attracting individuals passionate about hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, and nature photography. People with these interests often relocate to Wyoming to be close to their preferred activities. However, if you're not inclined towards outdoor pursuits, Wyoming's most appealing feature loses its significance. While living near scenic landscapes and outdoor opportunities is fantastic for some, it's essential to recognize that not everyone shares the same enthusiasm. In the United States, a significant majority of people prefer residing in metropolitan areas, where indoor activities and city life prevail. It's not a critique of outdoor living, but an acknowledgement that diverse preferences exist. No major cities, Unlike populous states with significant population centers, Wyoming lacks cities of comparable size. For instance, Los Angeles boasts 3.8 million residents, with a metro area population of about 13 million. Even nearby cities like Portland, Oregon, 641,000 residents, and Denver, 711,000 residents, with a metro area of 3 million, surpass Wyoming's urban statistics. The closest major city, Salt Lake City, has a population exceeding 200,000, with 1.2 million in its metro area. Cheyenne, Wyoming's largest city, has only 65,000 residents, with no metro area data available. Casper follows with 58,000, Gillette with 32,000, Laramie with 31,000, and Rock Springs with 23,000 residents. This dearth of sizable urban centers in Wyoming, coupled with the proximity of major cities in neighboring states, could potentially create a population vacuum, as there may be limited incentive for people to concentrate in any particular location within Wyoming. They don't promote it. While most states aggressively market to attract people and industries, Wyoming takes a more subdued approach. Although they run ads, they're not as visible or proactive as in other states. For example, if you live in California, you'll likely encounter radio ads, TV commercials, and billboards enticing you to move to states like Texas, Colorado, or Arizona. However, Wyoming's promotional efforts are less noticeable. Are there other possible reasons why the cowboy state is not attracting residents? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Thank you for watching.